Hi YouTube, I am Prepper Princess, the author of Living on Almost Nothing. If you're interested in purchasing my book, I will go ahead and leave a link down in the description box below. Today, I want to talk to you about the true cost of eating out. So, I eat out so unoften, so infrequently, that I don't even track it. I usually keep anywhere between $20 and $50 in my pocket, and it lasts. That's pretty much for like eating out on the fly. If I forgot my water or something, I'll go to a gas station, get some beef jerky and water. I don't know, just whatever it is. And it lasts for months because I don't eat out. And the reason I don't eat out is not just because it's bad for you. I love it when people like to give that advice on eating food. It's like, yeah, I'm sure you're only eating celery and water. Okay. But, it's bad for you. But the cost is literally 10x what you could do to make it at home. And that's not even adding like DoorDash. So if you're going out to, or tip, if you're going out to a restaurant, okay, let me say this is what brought this up. We have a really cute, quirky, maybe kind of, I guess you could call it chic, brunch place where they serve breakfast meals and occasional other stuff. Like they sell churros and they make it fancy. They take a long churro, cut it into 3 pieces, and then arrange it like a triangle and put whipped cream on top, then charge you $6 for a churro, where you can get those at Jack in the Box for like, I don't know, $2.50, $3.50. I don't know what the price is. But I was going over I looked at their menu, right? And it's breakfast food. Now, we all know that breakfast food is like the cheapest food that there is. Me personally, I get my eggs for free. My brother has chickens. So whenever I visit with my brother, I always get eggs. And my neighbor has a friend who has chickens who brings her free eggs, and it's more than she can eat, and she brings me about a dozen eggs a month, which is more than what I need because I don't eat eggs every day. But I could. But anyway, so here's something that was on their menu for pancake breakfast, $10.29, not including tip or tax. So you get 2 buttermilk pancakes, 2 eggs, and then a choice of 2 pieces of sausage or bacon. So you don't get sausage and bacon, you get sausage or bacon. Now, I went ahead and did some pricing on this. Krusteaz is a pancake mix, and I like Krusteaz because you don't have to add milk or butter or eggs or anything like that. You just add water, and they're fluffy and sweet and delicious. So Krusteaz family size buttermilk pancake mix is $7.48 for a 5-pound bag, which makes 128 pancakes. That is 5.8 cents per pancake. So 6 cents. 6 cents per pancake, 2 pancakes, that's 12 cents. Then I went ahead and looked at sausage. Sausage on Walmart, I just went to walmart.com. I'm sure you could find a better deal somewhere, but $4.38, and there's 14 pieces of sausage in the package. So that makes each sausage 31 cents. So you get 2 sausages. So then they have the eggs, and I don't pay for eggs, so that part would be free. But let's say 25 cents each. So that's like $3 for a dozen eggs. So 25 cents each, you get 2 eggs. So that makes the whole meal, if you made it yourself, $1.24. And that's not even buying on sale or anything like that. $1.24, and they're charging $10.29. If you were to add tax and a tip onto this, you're looking at about $14, $15 versus $1.24. So you're looking at a 10x to 15x when you purchase at a restaurant. And it's like, okay, well, maybe I didn't know because, I eat out so infrequently. So I was like, maybe it's just this place, but I'll get to that in a minute. They have a French toast option, which is like the cheapest thing you can make. It's bread, right? Their French toast is $12.99, and it's 2 slices of bread topped with whipped cream and powdered sugar, 2 eggs, and 2 pieces of sausage or bacon. So you're looking at about $1 for that meal that they're charging $12.99 for. Oh my gosh. $12.99. And so I thought maybe it's just this place, because this place is like chic and cute and quirky, and it's like the new restaurant in town that everybody thinks is so cool. So I'm like, okay, where can I go that like they serve breakfast, that like, you know, everybody knows? Denny's. So I go to the Denny's menu on their website. It's even more expensive than this place. And I'm like, $14.69 for like 2 pancakes and 2 eggs. Are you crazy? So there has to be. I read this once on Mr. Money Mustache. He's like the OG of frugality, the OG of the FIRE movement. And he talks about in one of his posts on his website a long time ago, he was talking about medical insurance, and he was saying there has to be a point where you say, I'm not gonna pay it, right? And I think that his was like $1,000 a month for him and his family. It's like, I'm not going to pay that. If it's $1,000 a month and nothing happens to me or my family for the next 5 years, and then all of a sudden something happens, we'll pay for it in the cash that we save. Now, not everybody saves their cash. They would probably spend it. But Mr. Money Mustache is different. No, now there is some things in the back of my head where it's like, okay, I'm not going to pay it. One, toilet paper. I'm not going to pay $20 for toilet paper. Don't get me wrong. I have toilet paper, but what I mean is I'm not going to spend that much all the time. So I have a bidet. The cable, last time I had cable, it was hovering around $200 a month. And that was only because my significant other, like, basically said, no, we're having it. And there's nothing you can do about it. $200 a month. There has to come a point where you're like, I'm not gonna pay it. Not gonna happen. No, you can say no. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed. And so I do all my stuff streaming. The internet is like $60 a month. So someday it'll happen. But when the internet gets to the point where it's over $100 a month, I'm not going to pay it. I refuse. The answer is no. I will not pay that ridiculous price, especially, I don't know if you all know this, in other countries, like Costa Rica is an example, like Costa Rica, Nicaragua. I don't know about Canada, but in other countries, internet service is like $10 a month. So they're obviously playing us for a fool. The home phone. So you can get like an I'm not going to pay it. You can get like an emergency line for like $10 a month, but most landline phone services hover around $50 a month. I'm not going to pay it. I'm not going to pay it. When I can get a cell phone service for $15 a month, I refuse. The answer is no. I will walk with my vote, and I will walk with my wallet. It's as simple as that. And a lot of the stuff like food, right? So I will not pay $7 a pound for fish. Fish is free. I can go catch a fish, and you know, maybe I'll get 5 fishes. I can have fish once a week, every month, and I just save myself like $50. I'm not gonna pay $7 or $8 a pound for fish. That's not gonna happen. Chicken breast. So I've had chickens before, and the cost of the feed to feed them and the eggs that they produce too many eggs for me to eat, so I sold my eggs at work. But the money that I was making from the eggs at work just pretty much paid for their feed, so it was like a break even. But if chicken, like let's say chicken breast, which is, you can get it for like $2 a pound is average right now. Sometimes you can get it on sale for like $1.19 a pound. Sometimes even less, depending on where you live. But once chicken breast reaches $5 a pound, I refuse to pay that. I will grow my own chickens and slaughter them myself. and give them a good life for as long as they live and treat them well. And they won't be born and raised in a slaughterhouse, but it will come time someday where it's time to do that. With the other stuff, I'm actually more than willing to supplement meat with beans, so you can mix them together like in fajitas and stuff like that to extend your meat. But I don't know. I don't know if steak would have a price for me, because I'm simply not willing to kill a cow, because it's just me. And I kind of have this theory that you shouldn't eat something you're not willing to kill, if that makes any sense. So I don't think that, but I mean, I can't kill a cow because there are like hundreds of pounds of meat, and I simply don't have that space. But I don't think that there's any price for that. But I think that we're at a point where, and things are just going to get worse. This is just, we have, as you all know, we have been on a downward spiral. It's not a huge, fast downward trend. It is it's a very slow, like a boiling frog in the pot. If the corporations and all of these entities that were in charge of politics did it all at once, there'd be riots in the streets. So they do it very slowly, let the population adjust, and then they make it more hard, let the population adjust, make it more hard, let the population adjust. And it's been getting worse and worse over the last few generations. So wherever we are today, it's going to be worse in 5 years. It's going to be worse than that in 10 years. In 20 years, it's going to be worse than that. So the rent's not going to get lower. The housing prices are not going to go down. The food prices are not going to get lower. They're going to increase in price until the end of civilization, pretty much. That's just the way that the world works. Doesn't matter if it's a capitalist society, social, national, doesn't matter. The prices are going to go up. So we either have to start scrimping and scraping, start substituting expensive products with more cheap products. We have to find ways to lower our bills if we expect to stay on our current level of spending. So if I'm never going to get a raise in my life, what does $40,000 a year look like right now? And what is $40,000 in my mind going to look like in 20 or 30 years when I'm 70? It's going to look a lot like poverty. Just saying. So that's something that you definitely need to consider. But it's definitely time to start talking with our wallets, voting with our wallets, and saying to ourselves, even though everybody else is willing to pay this, am I really willing to do this? Am I really willing to pay 15x for this food where I know I can make it at home for $1, but I'm paying $10 or $15 for it somewhere else? That was my aha moment when it came to restaurants. And that's why I very, very rarely eat at them. Like, I'll go to McDonald's once every 3 or 4 months, or Jack in the Box, or whatever. And every time I go, it's like, it's how much? What? Do y'all remember Tuesdays cheeseburgers for like 39 cents? Do y'all remember? You know what? I'm going to make a video. Yeah. About how food has changed since I was a kid. And I'm going to show examples. I need to get some Pringles, some Hershey Kisses, and some Snickers to prove my point. Anyway, what is your breaking point? I want to know, let me know in the comments specifically. When internet becomes a certain price, what is your price that you will not pay for internet? What is the price that you will not pay for electricity? $1,000 a month? $2,000 a month? What is your limit? Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out. This is normally what my dogs look like throughout the day. Nothing cute or exciting, just Mr. Snorri Pants giving me the side eye. Oh, I love you. I love you. Mr. Handsome. Why are your eyes all pink, huh? Did you get enough sleep last night? You almost kicked me off the bed in your sleep. Yeah. Oh, you're so handsome. Hi. You're so handsome. I'm not gonna leave you out, cutie. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, my little girl.